Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Ensoniq EPS Classic, and this is my phone. That's right, I call my mom with that. Actually, I also come up with a lot of musical ideas on that, and I usually start out with anything that I make. Usually starts out with me fiddling around with my phone during my lunch break. Um, and so, what I'm going to show you is how you can connect your EPS Classic to serve as a MIDI controller and sequencer for your iOS device, or you can also do this with Android as well. But right now I'm using iOS because you can download 1,000 synth apps on your phone and have a hundred of those. So 100,000 sounds at your disposal. And it's really nice to have those sounds being sequenced by the EPS, and just having the control of this key bed is wonderful. And like I said, I'll usually come up with a set of sounds during my lunch break, noodle around, come up with a basic idea, and then I'll finish it using this, and then I'll sample those sounds back into EPS. Go full 360 on it. So, what do you need to do to make your EPS communicate with your phone? Right. The first thing you're going to need is USB to 5-pin MIDI DIN. Right, DIN. So yeah, there's a bunch of these out in the market. This one is the EMU one. I think I spent like $30 for it. This is where I was using this with my Android phone for a long time, and this was the only one that really was rock solid. The other cheaper ones were kind of iffy at best. So yeah, USB to DIN MIDI cable. Then you're going to need, especially for iOS here, you're going to need your camera connection kit. This is a third-party one. I've never run into any issues with it, although I hear sometimes you absolutely need the Apple one because it'll reject it or something. If you're using Android, you would need an OTG cable, right? An on-the-go adapter to plug in your USB. So let's connect this to the phone here. So I'm just going to do that. All right. And let's see here. Let me, oh, wait, I forgot that I'd have to do that. All right. So, all right, here's all my stupid apps. One app that I like to use quite a bit because it literally does have 1,000 sounds in it is Chord Gadget. And it's definitely a prime candidate for this type of workflow because as much as I love the sound set of Chord Gadget, I hate the sequencer. I've never gotten along with it. So, what I'm going to show you is how to load up some different gadgets. In fact, let's just start from scratch here. Yeah, let's just go new. Sure. Okay, so it's going to ask me to pick a gadget here, right? And that's what I love about it, because you can load up 100 of these, and each one of these has its own different sound sets. So yeah. But keep in mind, in the EPS we have 8 tracks here, 8 tracks of sequencing, right? Each instrument can be its own track. So let's set that up. Let's go to the instrument panel here. So the first thing we're going to need to do is create an instrument, right? So let's go to Command, Instrument, Create New Instrument. Yes. Boom. All right. Now let me show you the parameters that you're going to need to set before you can start triggering sounds in here. All right. So now let's go to Edit, Instrument. We're going to want to scroll over until we see Send Keys to Both. No. This only works if you have sounds already in the EPS that you want to have overlapping with your MIDI sounds, right? So, or you have a certain set of sounds that are right here and you want to control. I have no idea, but you can do both. But let's go to MIDI. MIDI out. MIDI only, right? And so let's go to MIDI out channel. We're going to set that to 1, right? So now let's go back to command. Let's create a new instrument and let's do that. So let's do the same thing here. Let's go to control instrument. Let's set the MIDI out on this to 2. Oh wait, to 2. And let's send the keys to MIDI only. So now let's load up a sound. Here, let's load up, I kind of want a polyphonic. Yeah, let's do a polyphonic synth, right? So now we are ready to send MIDI data to Core Gadget. But now we have to set it up in Core Gadget. So at the bottom of your gadget strip, there's a little button that says all. Let's click that because we want to get very specific here. So here's our EMU MIDI, right? So let's do that. Let's select that. Now it's going to say all channels. No, we want this to only be on channel 1. So now we can start playing it on channel 1. If I go to instrument 2, which is set to channel 2, nothing, right? So channel 1. That's great. Okay. So let's add another instrument here. And yeah, let's just do a mono synth. We're going to create a bass patch here. So once again, we're going to go all and select our USB to MIDI and go channel 2. So now right? So now let's start sequencing. This is the fun part. All right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Also, what are some of the settings that you need to do here? I know that if you go into edit MIDI, you can transmit out on the instrument channel or bass channel. Do instrument channel, right? MIDI in mode, don't need to worry about that for now. But if you were going to go DIN MIDI out and then DIN MIDI in, and you wanted to communicate back and forth, in other words, if you wanted to send MIDI information to your sequencer from your phone, you'd have to set this to, you can set it to poly or you can set it to multi, all right? All right, so MIDI controllers on, right? And so what this is going to do is enable your mod wheel. And your pitch wheel. And I think I can also do the pedal. Yeah, that's making it staccato. So, yeah. So yeah, MIDI controllers on. And I think that's about it as far as what you would need to set up in your MIDI panel here. So now let's go to the sequencer here. Let's make sure that the click is on. Good, good, good. And the clock source is internal. All right. So let's record a thing here. Yeah, all right, let's keep that. And now let's sort of work up a bass line. There we go, yeah. dumb sequence. All right, sure. Great, right? So now you sort of get the point. We can just keep adding on stuff. We can make a drum track, right? So now, yeah, let's do that. Let's go to boom, 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 and let's set it to channel 3. All right. Let's go to command, instrument, create new instrument. Yes. Okay, boom. So now, of course, we're going to need to go to edit and go to MIDI and set this up for, oh boy, channel 3. All right, so let's see if I am... Sure. Great. Yeah, so there you go. There's our little mock sequence here. It's probably the best thing I've ever created. Yeah. I mean, that's basically how you use it. And like I said, from this point, we can sample these loops back into the EPS, right? Or we can sample the individual sounds, right? So I can hit middle C on Pompeii over here, sample that in, and then anything that's on this channel or this instrument, we'll just play back that sequence, right? And so I guess I can show you how that works here. So let's go to sample. All right. I'm going to pick an instrument over here. Okay. And let's go yes. I'm going to go. Oh, yeah. That's because I need to set the monitor all the way on. And sorry, I'm just coming up with a new system. I rerouted everything in my studio recently, and I'm still kind of getting used to it. All right, so let's do that. Okay, so yeah, now we can sample this. Let's do that. If I turn this down and I turn this up, I should get some sort of sound. I wonder what's going on here. That's why. Remember, when we set up this instrument, we set it up to only play MIDI out. So don't forget that. If you sample something in to your EPS and put it on that same channel that you were triggering, all right, you have to go back into instrument mode and set it up to send keys to local. All right, so now we can press play. Remember, we have this instrument is completely off. In fact, I can just hit mute. And that's awesome. So, like I said, this is a great way to sort of come up with ideas where you basically are using your phone and Core Gadget in this instance as a sound module. So you have easy access to thousands of sounds that you can sort of manipulate and shape to exactly how you want it. Come up with your sound set, come back to your EPS and sequence it, and then you can record the sounds individually, or you can just record entire loops, right? Exactly how I showed you. Like I said, there was that little hiccup, and I even got fooled myself. So just make sure that you switch your instrument modes, right? Whether it's sending MIDI out exclusively, or whether it's sending key information to the actual sampler inside the EPS. I hope this helps. Any questions? Hit me up in the comments. Peace.